as the ball will travel the 4 yards that it needed to go from one side of midfield to the other side of midfield. Now Fort Lupton moving left to right on your radio dial as the Mustangs look to defend here on their third drive for the Blue Devils.
In the game of field position, Fort Lupton kind of won that exchange on the interception and punt.
The give will go to Figueroa. He'll go around the left side of the line, get across midfield down to the 45, just shy of the 45-yard line. So a good gain there on 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils as they break into Mustang territory.
Yeah, he came from a wingback position on the right side and came right down the line of scrimmage and took the quick handoff and went around left end.
Ball spotted just shy of the 45-yard line. 2nd and 4 for the Blue Devils as the give will go this time to the deep back. That's Logan Fern. He'll be right at the sticks. The officials will stop the clock. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a measurement here.
From my angle, I think he's got the first, but we'll see what. Yep, they are going to do the measurement. So here's my weekly plug for the volunteer fire department of Fort Morgan running the chain gang for us.
They got a workout the last time we were here at Legion Field, but first time we've called their names tonight. While they're doing that, Fort Morgan football is brought to you by Ackley Building Center, your one-stop center for projects around your home, office, or yard. Ackley Building Center, located at 1402 Mill Street in Brush. The tip of the football just past the sticks as it will be a first down for the Blue Devils.
We're looking forward to the halftime pomp and circumstance of homecoming, including the tradition here at Fort Morgan of the fire department lighting off fireworks as the king and queen are announced.
Boyd's still in at quarterback. Jeff Merritt, the other quarterback, I meant to tell you, he's 38 for 81 passing. He's a little bit better of a passer than Boyd is, 397 yards, but Boyd stays in. The give goes to LaRoche this time, dancing behind the line of scrimmage. He'll move to the far side of the field, but will get nothing. Interesting there. One of the linemen came away with the football as LaRoche was held up. Ryan Roush comes away with the football and tries to advance it. Almost like another handoff, but the referees had ruled forward progress dead, and the play goes for a loss of about a half a yard. 2nd and 10, we'll call it.
That was LaRoche's second carry, both of them for no gain. It was kind of a lazy, nonchalant handoff from Boyd.
Man spread as the ball's spotted at the far hash. Man spread all the way to the numbers here, one of the receivers. Boyd fakes the give twice. He'll cut through the middle of the line. He'll get across the 30 and will be finally knocked down from behind by Jared Bohm after he had already gotten by, had Boyd. Bohm coming back to make the play, and a big first down play there as the ball will be spotted at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, it was a kind of a broken play. He meant to hand the ball off, and he saw his running back get hit right as he was handing it off, and he pulled it back in and made a nice gain out of it.
14-yard gain for Boyd there. Same formation, I formation, although that's 2 up men, not really one on the ground. The trap play this time will go to the far side. That is Fern again with the carry. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gains half a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, they're coming up with some plays that are kind of hard to figure out where the ball runner's going. And so far, Fort Morgan's had an answer for it.
The train going by in the background, 9:18 on the clock here. Fort Morgan still leads 6-0 after scoring on their first possession of the game. We're in the second quarter here at Legion Field on homecoming for Fort Morgan. Plenty of students in the stands. A good contingent of Fort Morgan fans in front of us. And the Fort Lupton fans, you got to give them credit. They've traveled well, too. As they might be over there in spots, but they are still there. And we'll have a timeout on the field before Fort Lupton can snap the ball on this 2nd and 10 play. This timeout is brought to you by Edwards Right Price Market and Flowerland. located at 1201 East Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. Stop by and get what you need to refuel on game days. We'll step aside. 6-0 the score here as the Mustangs lead over the Blue Devils. You're listening to Mustang Football on B106 and B106.com. Boyd looks to pass to this near sideline. The pass will fall incomplete as he was looking for Jalen Vasquez, but really Fitzsimmons the closest player there, and it'll be a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, he had to step up in the pocket because some pressure from the outside. Boyd not having a lot of success. I'm wondering whether we're going to see Merritt come in later in the game, because Boyd has got 6 passes and the only completion was to a Fort Morgan player.
Ball still spotted at the 27-yard line of Mustang territory. Boyd under center. He'll fake the toss, but the give will go to the deep back, who will chug through the middle of the line, but he'll be hit hard there as he's wrapped up. Misael Franco in on the tackle, along with a number of other players for Fort Morgan. Jorge Beltran on that tackle as well, as it'll bring up a 4th and long for the Blue Devils, who will bring the field goal unit on.
They've had some success with the kicking game earlier this year.
Dallas Hansen will be the one to kick out of the hold of Seth McCorkle. The snap is down, the ball is down, and the kick will fall just short. So a 40-yard try falls just short for Dallas Hansen and the Blue Devils. And the Mustangs will take over the football.
Yeah, Fort Morgan kind of dodges a bullet there. Fort Lupton able to drive deep into Mustang territory down to the inside the 30 and not able to bring anything out on that. Now I'd like to see Fort Morgan come back with, again, some good mixture and score on this drive.
Martins and company will take over at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. The give goes to the middle back, and that's Goto. He's got a lot of room. He's across the 35, down to the 40, wrapped up by 2 tacklers, still moving forward across the 40-yard line. So a good hard run. Gain of 21 for Goto on 1st down.
That was a really nice run. And that's just what Fort Morgan needed, is to get out from the shadow of their goal line and get out all the way almost to midfield.
So the ball spotted just outside the 40-yard line. 1st and 10, Goto making his presence known here early on in this game. Anderson will spread out near side. I formation. Alexander dotting the I. He'll get the give, go off the right side, gets across the 45, down to the 50. He'll be right at the sticks. I believe a flag comes in right there at the end. And we'll see what that is, but as it stands, the play goes for 10 yards and another 1st down. Waiting to see what the penalty is.
Kind of looked like Fort Lupton on that last drive had some momentum going for them. They were looking excited and getting after it. And then when they didn't come away with any points, now the defense is flat out here, and Fort Morgan's having their way.
So we'll negate the run as it's a hold against Fort Morgan. That would have gone for a 1st down. It'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which was right towards the 1st down marker. So it'll be a 1st and 11 as Fort Morgan essentially only loses 1 yard on the play, but you lose the big run and a little bit of momentum on the Alexander carry.
But it remains 1st down. So 1st and 11, 1st and 10. Fort Morgan can still keep this drive going and take some momentum into the half.
6-0 the score, 7:31 showing here in the half. The first half at Legion Field. Anderson spread to this near side, a man spread to the far side, I formation. Alexander gets the give. He's met immediately in the backfield. Ryan Roush on the tackle as he's able to pierce through the O-line and bring down Alexander for the loss.
Yeah, momentum is a fickle thing. Here Fort Morgan had the momentum, had a nice 21-yard run, then followed up by a 9-yard run that's brought back by the penalty. And here Fort Lupton kid sneaks through between 2 linemen and hits Alexander as he gets the handoff, and we lose 3 yards.
It'll be a 2nd and 15, or a long 14 at least, from the 36-yard line. Quick count by Martins, who turns and hands the ball to Goto, who goes off the right side, off tackle. Tries to cut it up the field, gains a few yards there. It'll be right back towards the 40-yard line. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 11.
Yeah, Godo running hard. Kind of off tackle right side on that one. Got a few yards after contact, but there just wasn't much of an opening.
Mustang football brought to you by Buildings by Design. The most important thing to buying a new building or starting a new design build project is picking the right company to build it. Call Pat Walter, Travis Lefevre, or Jared Samples for your free bid. 970-842-5837, or visit them online at buildingsbydesign.com. Fort Morgan will take a timeout and discuss this 3rd and 11 play, and we'll step aside as well. You're listening to Mustang Football on B106 and B106.com. 6-0 the score here as the Mustangs lead with 6:12 remaining in the first half at Legion Field. Kevin, as you noted in the break, the wind really starting to pick up, blowing in our faces, and it is a chilly, chilly wind, so kudos to the students and the fans out here that are braving that. I formation out of the timeout on this 3rd and 11 play. Martin's under center. Miranda and Alexander in the backfield. The reverse will go to Cody Davis. We'll have a penalty flag come out. The reverse goes for naught as Davis is unable to gain the edge on the far sideline. That is his first carry on the year. And Martin's, I believe, gets caught for the illegal block in the back. Yes, he does. So
I'm imagining they'll decline that and make it 4th and long. Fort Lupton was all over that play from the get-go. The far side defensive end sniffed it out and was just sitting there waiting for him. And then there was a defender in the backfield that was in the way, and that's how they got the block on illegal block.
So Fort Lupton does decline. It brings up a 4th and 16 situation with the loss. The snap to Zwetzig a little high. He'll kick it down the field, and it'll be fielded at the 35. A lot of running room as the return man for the Blue Devils is able to get across the 45 near midfield, just shy of midfield, in fact. Looked like Hector Rodriguez on the return that time for the Blue Devils as they, again, have great field positioning following the Fort Morgan punt.
Fort Morgan just seems to be shooting themselves in the foot with this penalty after penalty, killing their drives. They'd be wise to remember what happened in Mountain View when they spoiled their homecoming by getting some momentum right before the half.
47-yard line, the spot of the ball. Boyd still in at center. He'll fake the give and keep it himself, go through the middle. He'll be met by Bohm through the middle after gaining a few yards. A penalty flag comes out late. We see one on the field there. The officials will stop the clock. That one coming from the umpire. Would be a personal foul face mask against the Mustangs. So they're able to stop Boyd from running, but a face mask call comes and moves the ball 15 yards down the field, and that'll be another first down as the officials will count it off, and they'll be all the way down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line after the foul. So 15 yards, a huge play there. Boyd again will turn and hand it to his back, who dances behind the line. That's LaRoche with the give. He'll gain a few yards. As really couldn't find the hole that he wanted to go through, dancing a little bit behind the line, and was able to at least lean forward for a minimal gain. A gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
Yeah, it's LaRoche's 3rd carry of the night and his first positive gain, and it's only a yard. Fort Morgan still has a really tough inside run defense.
LaRoche last week had 15 carries for 23 yards, so he's right on par for his carry to yards ratio. Tight formation this time for the Blue Devils as the toss this time will go to Fern in the backfield. He'll be met by 2 tacklers as Jose Zavala and Jose Miranda, the 2 Jose's on defense, getting together to make that stop. And it'll be another gain of a yard, so a 3rd and 8 coming up here for the Blue Devils.
Seems like Fort Morgan's defense has maybe taken the stance of the old-time Dallas Cowboys defense of bend but don't break. They get them a little bit of momentum and let them down into their territory, and then stiffen up and not let them score.
Ball spotted at the 32-yard line of Mustang territory. Whistles go before the snap is off. And it'll be a Fort Lupton timeout. This timeout brought to you by Edwards Right Price Market and Flowerland, located at 1201 East Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. Stop by and get what you need to refuel on game days. 4:17 remaining here in the first half. 6-0 the score. Mustangs lead. You're listening to Mustang Football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back inside Legion Field here as Fort Lupton looking to add some points here before halftime. So they have the ball in Fort Morgan territory. Man comes in motion for Boyd, who's under center. He'll fake two handoffs, looking to pass. He rolls to the left side. Going to test the throw again, and it will fall incomplete. Good coverage that time by Cody Davis for the Mustangs. As again, LaRoche, the intended receiver, and he can't haul it in on that far sideline. And it'll bring up another fourth down play here for the Blue Devils. We'll see if they elect to kick a field goal or punt it away or go for it.
You know, I'm really excited tonight because Fort Morgan's had a little bit of difficulty with teams that could pass. They've given up some yardage, and so far tonight, the receivers have been open a little bit, but not anything that they were able to get connected on.
Fort Lupton deciding to go for the field goal. The ball will be spotted at the 37-yard line. The kick goes straight up, and Pineda's back deep to receive. This works almost like a punt. Pineda picks it up inside the 15, gets across the 20. He'll be wrapped up and hit, and then we'll see another couple of players go down as a lot of bodies flying around there. So Pineda picks up the short field goal attempt. Really not Hanson's best attempt on the year. And it'll work as a 4-yard punt, essentially, as the ball will be spotted at the 27-yard line. So the missed field goal as
the hometown crowd kind of fired up there because the tackle was made high, but I don't think he got the face mask, just maybe a piece of the helmet.
As the Mustangs will now look to try and add some points. 3:59 on the clock. The give goes to Godo, who tries to run between guard and tackle on this near side, but he'll be stopped after gaining about a yard.
Kind of surprised we haven't seen Miranda carry the ball yet. He's been kind of a horse for the last couple of weeks.
Ball will be resting right on the 30-yard line on this near hash. The Mustangs moving right to left on your radio dial on this 2nd and 8 play. Martins gives the ball off to Alexander, who will try to gain the edge and has no success in doing so. They'll give him a half yard, and it'll bring up a 3rd and long play here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, not what Fort Morgan needs with 3 minutes left in the half. I'd like to have seen him get a couple first downs and at least run out the clock, if not score.
Wind really starting to pick up here at Legion Field as we're starting to feel it here in our press box coming through the window, and it's got to be piercing for those poor souls that are exposed to it completely. We've got 3 walls around us. Martin's under center, 2 men in the backfield. Martin's looking to pass. He's got a man on this near side. That's Fitzsimmons that he's looking for. Severely underthrown, and it will be picked off by Fort Lupton. And the man for Fort Lupton kind of dancing around, running in circles. A flag down for an illegal block. It's going to be Fitzsimmons, who initially almost made the tackle. Check that. That's TJ Schneider, who finally tackles the man back at the 48-yard line. A lot of circus going on there as the ball was picked off by Marcus Lennox. I believe Marcus Lennox comes away with that interception, but there will be an illegal block in the back as one of the men trying to make the tackle for Fort Morgan. That flag's all the way back at the 36-yard line. So the ball now spotted at Fort Morgan's 48. The flag will be assessed 10 yards from the spot. So a big penalty, a change of 30 yards there, Kevin, is now Fort Lupton, instead of having the ball in Fort Morgan territory, has it deep in their own territory at their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good decision to throw that ball. Fort Morgan came out with their first throw being a nice 24-yard or so pass, then an incomplete, and now an interception.
2:27 shows on the clock here as the teams trade possessions with the missed field goal try and the interception by Martins. Fern gets the carry. He'll run to this near side, pick up 4 yards, and it'll be a 2nd and 6.
Fern's a hard-running little running back. Not a big kid, but kind of dodges back and forth and doesn't go down on the first contact. Fort Morgan's going to have to learn to wrap him up.
Fern listed at 5'10", 155. He's a junior. Coming into this game, though, not really used as much as some of the other players. 17 carries for 67 yards, but he's getting a lot of action here tonight. And he'll get the call again. Nope, Boyd will keep it as he tries to run off the right side. Nope, I take that back. Fern did get the ball as Boyd carried out the fact that he might have still had the football running right behind Fern. Either way, it's a gain of 4, and it'll be 3rd and short as the ball gets across the 35-yard line. Needing to gain the 36, 37. We'll call it the 36 there. Ball resting right on the 35-yard line on the far hash.
Fort Lupton only has a minute left in the half to get this done if they're going to get any points.
Boyd keeps it himself and runs through the middle of the line, is able to pick up the first down. The clock stops with the first down. The 40-yard line is where the ball will be spotted, so a good run that time. As
kind of a quarterback sneak, and no one was home or paying attention. And I don't know how you can miss Boyd. You know, he's a tall kid, 6'3", 188 pounds.
Clock moving, 49 seconds and counting. No real hurry up from Fort Lupton here as they're taking their time. Boyd will fake the give and look to pass. Overthrows his man, and it'll be intercepted there by Fort Morgan at the 42-yard line. Michelle Franco comes up with the interception, and it'll be Fort Morgan football. So we've seen a lot of sloppy play from both sides here as now the teams exchange interceptions.
Yeah, it's not the kind of error-free football that Coach Chisholm was hoping for on homecoming night. Going in, looking forward to Frederick next week, they're going to have to play a lot more disciplined second half and have a lot better team effort.
The junior Franco comes up with his first pick on the year. Martins will send 3 men to the far side as 38 seconds show on the clock here. Ball spotted at the 42. Martins looking to pass. He rolls to the far side. Will be swarmed under by a little bit of pressure. Steps up and starts to run it. Gets across the 45 to the 50. So a good play there for Martins as he does get ushered out of bounds. 28 seconds showing on the clock. It'll be a 2nd and short, but more importantly, the ball is spotted at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, he made another good decision. The Fort Morgan receivers are just not getting open downfield. Fort Lupton, when they sense it's a pass, are dropping 4 or 5 kids back in coverage.
Second and 3 here. 2 men spread to the near side, 2 men to the far side, 1 man in the backfield for Martins under center. The Blue Devils show blitz. Martins will toss the ball up, and again it will be intercepted. Trying to find Fitzsimmons. This time it's Hansen with the interception. He's got a little bit of running room. He'll dance going to the far side, but he'll be brought down by Godo at the 35-yard line. So Martins, again, another ill-advised pass as he was under pressure. Throws up a ball that is just asking to be picked off, and it was. Martins had only thrown 2 interceptions in the season coming into this game, and he's already got 2 here in the first half.
I don't think I've ever seen that where you've had 3 changes of possession on interceptions in a row.
14.9 on the clock, and Fort Lupton will take their final timeout of the half. We'll keep it here. The ball, as you said, Kevin, the ball will be spotted at the 35, but 3 changes of possessions, which started off, well, we'll go back to 4 changes of possessions. Started off with a Fort Lupton missed field goal And then an interception from Fort Morgan, an interception from Fort Lupton, and an interception again from Fort Morgan. So in the last 5 minutes and 52 seconds here in the half, we've seen a missed field goal and 3 interceptions. And there's still time. 14.9 seconds remaining here in the half. The shotgun, 3 men to the far side for Boyd. He's looking to pass. And, oh, it goes through Franco's hands. We almost saw another interception.
Yeah, this is not good football that we're watching here so far this first half. Fort Morgan had that nice first drive. That looked good. And since then, neither team has really been able to put much together.
Franco playing safety back there with Yuli Hernandez. And Franco's looking to get more receptions than a lot of the players here on the Fort Morgan team. And they're coming from the other guy. The Mustangs will drop 4 back. Movement before the play as LaRoche was trying to get a quick jump on the blocking that he needed to do. He was flanking Boyd in the backfield. And with the front 6 for Fort Morgan, they were showing a little bit of a blitz. So the false start will move back the Blue Devils.
You know, as a coach, you always kind of worry about homecoming because all the emotion and everything of the whole week. Then you have to worry about at halftime some of your players being out there, being candidates for king and queen, or I guess not queen, excuse me, being candidates for king. And now to have a quarter and a half of, you know, pretty much sloppy football and wanting those kids in at halftime to talk.
Boyd will look to run it himself. He's got a little bit of room as there are 5 men deep for Fort Morgan. Boyd will get across the 45, shy of the 50, a flag down behind the play. The clock reads zeros, so we'll see what the flag is. And this really is just determining statistics right here. Unless it's on the defense, the half can't end on a defensive penalty. It's a hold against Fort Lupton. Fort Morgan just content to decline the penalty and end the half. So that is where we will be. Boyd gets to keep the run. But the Mustangs get to keep what matters the most, and that's the lead. 6-0 the score here at halftime at Legion Field. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll walk you through our halftime presentation of the homecoming going on here at Fort Morgan. Step aside, 6-0 the score, Fort Morgan leads. You're listening to Mustang Football on B106 and B106.com.